Perfect. So today, this conversation is my fifth session at the ICW, fifth out of 21. So that's something that I'm very, very happy about that I'm able to bring in 19 different topics to the ICW. And this is something that I'm really passionate about. Coaching is something I'm madly passionate about. Thank you. And my name, as you can see, is Sunil. I am your host today, and I'll be sharing my experiences with these aspects of coaching and the business of coaching and how personal branding is very, very important in the aspect of coaching. Uh, Again, this conversation is getting recorded. Just a quick question to you. How many of you are on video? So I see two of you on video. Plus, how many of you have a background screen that talks about your business? Sudarshan, thanks. Sudarshan, thanks. Fantastic. So, one of the easiest things that got me brand visibility when I was in an organization was that I always had a banner on wherever I was, putting my video up during COVID and all those spaces. And I was officially working in a software company as a software engineer, developing braking systems that essentially helped people's lives getting saved and the right set of brakes applied at the right point of time. But essentially, the other aspect was that I was enabling individuals who form communities, or I was part of a space where communities and driving communities was my favorite part of the job. And whichever meeting I went to, I said, I am part of this community, and this community. If you feel like you want to write to me, this is my team's, email address or whatever that was. And so over a period of maybe 6 to 8 months, a lot of our communities had 10, 12, 15, 30, 50, multiple people join in because they were seeing whatever was on the background. And whenever you are on a Zoom call, if you are out there putting your best self out there, specifically in a business context, you you always can put your best foot forward, definitely making your brand shine through for everybody else. If the session is getting recorded and your background is available, one of the first things that people will, anybody who's looking at the video, will obviously look at your credentials as well. There is a very high possibility of that happening, and business can come out of it. And there could be conversations, and with conversations, there's always conversions, right? So that is something that I'd like to just highlight today, even before we start off the aspect of this. So I asked multiple of you aspects of where are you in your coaching journey? Some of you are on route ACC, some of you are on route PCC, some of you are on route possibly MCC. But all of us have come to these aspects of coaching with one typical understanding that we want to make our purses stronger and our bank accounts better with coaching. None of us, I am assuming, are here just because, hey, you know what, I think I'm a coach. I am a good coach at it. I'm a certified coach. I enable people through coaching, and I don't want to do any of it as commercial activity. I just want to build on my skill set, and the skill set is enough. So, what we do not learn in our coach platforms, or basically what we have to learn on ourselves from start, is the actual aspect of how do we build a business. There's a difference, a huge difference, almost like a South America and a North America kind of a difference. They are two different, continents as such, with multiple other countries. So that's the difference. Even though the name Americas is the same, right? They're two different continents, right? So typically like that, the skill set of coaching, what you learn in an organization, to the point of the business side of coaching are two different entities. And the most simple aspect that we will need to understand is there needs to be an aspect where my skill set is fantastic, as well as maybe my mindset is also fantastic. That's one part of the game. And also my branding and my brand availability on a perspective is something that really needs to be pulled back into play. So generally, how many of you have figured out who your audience is? I'm not saying what your niche is. How many of you have figured out who your audience is? And so I come from a space where my very proudly niche agnostic. I say that everybody is my client, but I have to also distinguish between is everybody my paying client? So, out of the possible uh, questions that you have had in terms of who is my target audience, can you look at it not from a niche angle? So, niche would be I am a career coach, I am a relationship coach, I am a leadership coach, I am a leadership coach for women under 40, I am a leadership coach for NGOs, I am a leadership coach for blah, blah, blah. I'm a relationship coach for those that are separated, I'm a leadership coach for expats. These are all your niches. But beyond that, um, what's something that is important is to figure out who your target audience is, irrespective of the niche. Where do they stay? So I very strongly felt that a niche was very constricting because I had to choose whether I am a career coach. I cannot do anything outside my career. I'm a relationship coach. I cannot do anything apart from my this thing. So that was something that made me very strongly niche agnostic. So I wanted to work with people, and that was the most important aspect. And I wanted to work with people where my skill set is what opens the gate for people. So I went into a very long range game wherein I had to build that aspect of my brand. And what are my brand values? What is my brand story? And who is it resonating with? And that was something that really made a huge difference in the way I came across in terms of building relationships with people. Right? You figured out your niche, possibly you figured out your target audience. The next question to ask is, does your target audience know you exist? I'm very happy to say that, oh, I am a leadership coach for women in their 40s, or I am a leadership coach for women undergoing menopause. Right. So for me, that's a niche. I figured out my target audience are women in their 40s, women in their 50s, and women possibly in their 30s. Right? So you are looking at those particular aspects. The big question is, am I visible to the people who are there on that particular side of the spectrum? And maybe the next logical aspect to ask is, where are these people who I say is my target audience? And so I am a individual coach. I'm also a mentor coach. And I'm also very strongly getting to an aspect where I want to be a train the trainer for ACC level one and possibly portfolio training for PCC with already somebody doing level one. So my target audience would be three different audiences. Right. So I have a specialization. I don't have a niche. My specialization is that I work in three different distinct languages across the world. I coach you in English. I coach those who do not know English in two other languages, which is across India. So one is Hindi, which multiple people across India know. And the other aspect is Kannada, which people in Karnataka, which is my home state, and India is approximately 28 states or 32 states. My geography is bad. My history is also a little bit off radar. But there are multiple states. Each state has its own language. So I come with that distinction that says my specialty is that I work in three languages. I just want you to just pause for a moment and can you say as an elevator pitch, tell me why I should be your client. So I'm assuming that some of you are sharing on the chat. I'll keep that chat open. Right, that's the first question. So you are not the only coach that the person on the other side sees. So if I am a PCC, you are a PCC, that's a level playing ground. You are an ACC, I am an ACC, that's a level playing ground. You could be an ACC with 20 years of experience, and I could be a PCC with 2 years of experience. That's not a level playing ground. So you are now exposed to possibly, according to ICF, when I saw that there are 65,000 plus ICF credentialed coaches, ACC, PCC, and MCC in different aspects of the world. So I can't coach in Spanish. So that's a space where I don't even get into. That's not my target audience. Even though if I may have a niche of I work with women in their 40s, but women in their 40s who know Spanish are not my target audience. So that's something that you'll need to take care of. So whatever I now asked you to do is, yeah, Hala says, I'm bilingual, English and Arabic, and so multiple nationalities come from my own story and my success in that story. Fantastic. So thanks, Hala. Thanks for sharing that. So typically, what I now told you is a push model that, you know what, I am this particular, I work in this particular niche. Your problem right now is this. Uh, So I make, or I am one of your choices in terms of the aspect of coaching, right? So actually, and for you, even if you're at the university, this is possibly an area of curiosity in terms of what possible ways you can set up your business. So that could be one way you can look at this, right? So if I can tell you that I have put a successful business, I have my question marks around it. Whether I have set up a successful business as such, with the same targets that I feel I should achieve. But I've started on that journey, and that for me is an important aspect because a lot of us want to do something, and have we started on our business is another thing. So having a LinkedIn account, having an Instagram account, having say possibly any other account, a Facebook account or WhatsApp, all of this is a very high possibility that you can still get your clientele with a pull model rather than a push model. So one of those things which Hala told me or in the chat is that I use my story to tell people what is my story or why should I come to you. So a question that the client should ask is why should I not choose Sunil as my coach? What's holding me back in choosing Sunil as my coach? So how will somebody be attracted to my way of coaching? With having zero idea how coaching works for them or what is coaching in the first place. So, one simple aspect would be to offer a pro bono session. And all of the times that I've heard, whenever I say I offer a pro bono session, people obviously come to me and said, "You're doing it wrong. Pro bono does not work. People will not value free." To which the conversation I have with them is that I never told you it's free. There is no monetary exchange to this particular program. So I had a very interesting coaching space. I offer pro bono coaching every March for women, every November for men. No special aspects for guessing. It's Men's Day in November, Women's Day in March. Instead of putting it as one day, I offer an entire month. The first time I did it, I got 5 to 8 people who registered. The second time I did it, I got 15 people who registered. Uh, but the ones who came were only three or four. This third time I did it, I had 74 registrations. That obviously meant that I had now 74 plus 15 plus 5 new people that had access to me as an individual to say, oh, Sunil is a coach. And then every time they feel there is a need for something around coaching, who do you think they're going to talk about the first time they talk? Oh, they have a they have a situation at hand where they need a safe space to express it, to talk about it, to find out answers that work for them. Where do you think is the first place they look at? They will not go online and they'll not go search. The entire aspect of niching, aspects of this thing comes from a very specific space that the client is going to look at you online. But what if the client does not have to go online to meet you? The client knows you already. And that's why the company name that I have is called NimmaCoach. And NimmaCoach has very interesting roots. It comes with the aspect of Nimma in Kannada, which is my mother tongue, means I'm your coach. Nimma is your. So Nimma coach means your coach. So I am your coach for all things coaching. Sets it up perfectly if I'm a one-to-one coach. Sets it up perfectly because I'm a mentor coach. Sets it up perfectly because I'm a trainer for coaches. So three very distinct products put in the same brand name. For a mentor, for a mentee, I'm still their mentor. For a individual that's coming to me for a coaching engagement, it still works it. And I'm your coach again. I'm a coach trainer. So it still works for me in terms of three products. So again, you'll have to distinguish between what's a brand, what's a brand name, what's a brand niche, and what's the product or a process that you're trying to sell. Now, if I was selling, say, lipsticks, if I was selling, say, anything like a toothbrush, very easy to say these are the uses for it. Very easy and very significant for the other person to understand, right? So, but if I'm selling a service with no guarantee that we say, oh, just because you're coming to me as a coach, you will find a solution. We will have to put on a creative thoughts. And the whole idea of the niche was that subject matter experts will get more out of a space than generalists. So I am more prone to go to a heart surgeon if I have a heart problem than to go to a say uh, somebody who looks at the eyes. Right? So I will not go there. But both of us are doctors. So that's the whole idea. But possibly if we go too much of niching, I am a heart doctor for somebody who's left-handers. I'm a heart doctor for somebody who is right-hander. I'm somebody who's a heart doctor for somebody outside of India. It does not serve us to go so heavily on our micro niching. So there's niching, there is micro niching. And I said, to hell with all of these niches. I will work on a niche less strategy. But can I use my specialization? And if I'm using my specialization, how is my audience going to know about it? Right. So I will start with basically the aspect of how it started for me. So one is initially it was peer coaching. So when I started peer coaching, my concentration was on how do I build on the aspects of my skill set as a coach. And so, and I finished my 500 hours in less than a year. So essentially, I was sailed through that entire process because I got in touch with a lot of my clients and a lot of my other peers who also are clients. So it gave me a space where, say, I am very clean with my coaching. When I say I'm coming today, I definitely come. So my values often met with the other side. The value matching or mismatching is what helped us and not did not help us move forward. And the process of coaching was the same for coaches and not coaches. So I was able to build on that. And slowly they said, oh, you know what? I'll send my friend. She is also looking for a coach for peer coaching. I'll send one of my friend. He's also looking for a peer coaching space. Automatically, I got my hours. So I am sharing the story of how compounding helps over a period of time. And for compounding to happen, you need to be available in that space to people and you need to be seen. If I am not seen, I will not be looked at. Crying babies get more milk is a very interesting corporate terminology. But farther the temple, nearer the God, and sometimes farther the temple, farther the God as well. Right. So if I do not see you in my visible radar, there's a very high possibility that I will forget you. But since all of us cannot be visible for all of us at the same time, we can always come to that aspect of how else can I be visible? In the last 2 years or 2.5 years, or maybe more, since WhatsApp introduced the whole status button. My WhatsApp status has never been, with no data ever. So every day there is something or the other that I am putting. It could be about coaching, it could not be about coaching, it could be something else. And which also brings it out that I've always been somebody who's visible to you. And I've been doing something that's not just around coaching. So I'll just finish this and come back. So which also brings me to that question, do you build your brand only around your aspect or product or service of around coaching? Or do you build it around yourself? I have chosen to build it around me. I say that's a very prompt distinction. So if I'm doing it only as a service, that's a transactional service between me and somebody else. That I'm possibly going to Walmart. I can go and get a product there. And if I'm equidistant between two Walmarts, I can choose to go to any Walmart and get my services done. So if I'm looking for a career coach with the same credentials, approximately the same charges, how would I choose between both of them? So that's one thought process there. And I will choose somebody who I resonate with, right? So I will, if everything considered is the same, their credentials is the same, their charging is the same, then in a level playing field, I'm more gravitating towards somebody I like or somebody I resonate. Can that be a part of your branding in how you are storytelling? Or what got you into coaching? Or what is your coaching style? What helped you in a coaching business? What was a challenge in a coaching business? Uh, Before and after with a client testimonial. Put it on LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, everywhere else. Where you're building a story that Sunil is somebody I trust. Sunil can work with this target audience. Sunil works with this particular space. And mostly bringing all of Sunil into the equation, right? I say all of Sunil into the equation because I am a poet, I'm a podcaster, I am a sustainability enthusiast. I am very passionate about diversity, equity, inclusion. I want to bring people's voices that are unsaid and unshared to the mainframe. I love talking about, say, mental health for men. I am very passionate about photography. And say I'm also very passionate about reading and writing. I run my own scholarship program for kids across rural Karnataka. And I marry coaching and creativity together. I come from Bangalore. Right, so now I told all of this to you, not to basically bombard you with information, but essentially to also give you so many aspects of who I am. And therefore, I'm assuming with all that I spoke, there could be something that resonates with you that is common to both you and me. So I've had people who are my friends through poetry experience my workshop on creative writing. And because I also showed them that the workshop that I run is very strongly based on the aspects of coaching as a methodology and coaching as a philosophy. They were keen to try out the coaching when I put up pro bono next time. And from that, they came in, they experienced what coaching was. And I said, because I'm not taking any monetary aspects that particular time, they paid almost $200 for a scholarship program that I run. And now both of us are friends based also on my coaching experience, based also on my writing experience, based also on my other experiences. The next time I did something, they said, you know what, last time I experienced something from Sunil. And this time I see two people in my network who I feel will benefit from it. I will connect them to Sunil. I did zero marketing, but yet my clientele seemed to flow effortlessly. Can we start thinking on these lines, how as to how we pull clients our way rather than how we push clients saying, hey, you know what, I'm a coach, let me do this. How many times do we skip YouTube ads that says, that comes in between? and they're talking to you saying within 10 months we'll transform you, we'll make you a better coach, we'll make you this, we'll make you that. Because to a large extent, we don't trust that that is how it is happening. We could be walking into a scam right away. So all of these are considerations. I will just pause. I will just maybe check in with you on terms of questions. Jyoti has raised a hand. Uh, Please, Jyoti, go ahead and share.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I just wanted to understand from you what was the status like? WhatsApp status? Do we change it daily?
Hmm. No, I do it daily because I come from an experience where I write something, I
So the
run
status,
a
like
scholarship.
where it's like I'm busy and all this kind of thing, where you
No,
normal
no, no. The
posts.
one the one that you put as the image, right? So what you can share images, what you can share videos
The
on.
image is where picture is,
Uh,
and what does the status mean here? Where
so
normally it's templates are like I'm busy, I'm in a meeting.
yeah,
Where
so
you also can
that's
also write
that's
custom
yeah.
messages.
So WhatsApp, if you go and check, you will look at it right now. In the latest one, it says updates, right? So that's where
Uh-huh.
you put. So that's something that I continue to do. So your Instagram story, your Facebook story, so it's still the same. And yeah,
Uh,
if there is if that's something that's not yet
so
in your
so if I
navigation,
if I go to my I've gone to my settings,
no, that's
my
not the
my
status, and that
my
nobody
pictures
looks.
there
That nobody looks.
about phone number links. So where do I write my? What do you
No, no,
mean by this?
that's not where it is. So it goes to that
Mm.
space where it's called updates. So you go to WhatsApp and you see chats,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. There's
then
an update
yeah,
there. Yeah,
updates. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There you
my
can see a
status out
plus
there.
button. Yeah, there you see a plus button, and then you can add images. So what I was sharing there was that
Okay,
particular
awesome.
piece of real estate. So I say it as real estate because that's definitely a real estate that gives you options to tell what you're doing. Right. So every success story, there's a possibility. Every program that I'm running is a possibility. And say every testimonial that I can screenshot without possibly revealing the client's name, putting it out there is a possibility. So people build trust or trust is built with people over time. And also how the other aspect which I think a lot of coaches hold back on is, can I share success stories of my clients on LinkedIn? If you've asked their permission, wherein you've told them their names and their details that exactly point to who they are, will not be revealed. And unless you're not overtly exaggerating the entirety of what has happened, you are free to share about it with names changed, with scenarios that are slightly different from whatever that happened. But also make it in a way that is respectful for everybody involved. You can do that. Second of all is networking, right? So that's how you build your brand. So even in say, I run a community of around right now 220 WhatsApp coaches on WhatsApp. All of them are ICF trained, some of them are ICF certified, some of them are on road ICF journeys. So many of you are here from that group today, right? So there is a very clear understanding. So even though I am part of a 200 member crew, I hold my ground and I hold my space. So there that has happened because I understand who you are. You are also made sure, I also make sure that you understand who I am. And that is where the storytelling aspect comes of it. That is where my story, how I came into it, is also made aware to you. Also, I am sharing some of my services to whatever happens as part of it. And again, I offer most of the programs pro bono, which is an excellent space for somebody just coming in, the fly in the wall kind of a space. They observe. And over a period of time, with consistency in my work, they're coming to me and saying, you know what, Sunil, can you be my mentor? Right? I have close to 28 plus 4, 32 mentees in the last 15 months who come to me with a pull model, because I've always said this is what is mentoring. This is what is required, and this is what happens. Possibly, I have done about a demo every week, right? Or approximately a demo every week for about 3 to 4 months. And then said, if somebody is interested, this is what happens. You've seen the product, you've seen the process, you've seen me as an individual. If you now feel that you need to come for mentoring, there's a program that's running. Come jump on board. I've got references from other people saying, you know what, I'm coming, I'm getting my friend along. That's how you build business. And business is built on values. So, what are your personal values as a coach? What are your values as a coaching professional? And possibly, what are your coaching values as an individual? And what in those values is resonating with my client? My client, 90% of the time, can have a value based resonance, hobby based resonance, some other resonance that makes me uh, top of their list in terms of looking at it, except maybe also the website, the credentialing, etc., etc. So what I have decided is that I will not uh, go on the aspect of somebody else finding me on another platform. I will go in such a way that somebody else in my own network will help them or will help me via putting other people from their network across to me to say, you know what, I think Sunil is something you should talk to. So it could be whatever I'm saying could be something that you already know, be something that is very new. But again, if it's something that you already know, maybe it's a point to ponder and reflect as to what you're currently doing. Is that working? Is that not working? Uh, Do you also have consistency in your sharing whenever you're introducing yourself? How do you introduce yourself? Um, if your ads, LinkedIn, social media, etc., promote yourself to be the best of the best coaches. The client comes to you, and you're found out by multiple of your clients that your skill set is not yet up to the mark. You've killed your baby even before it's born, right? So that's where, as and when you're building your business, there is also an aspect to build your skill set. Your skill set and business go hand in hand. They are not two separate entities. So that means you can start your business even before your credential. As soon as you've started learning to an extent of around 40 to 50 hours of your ACC or PCC or whatever, 40 to 50 hours, you can actually start building your portfolio. Your portfolio beginning does not have to coincide with a credential, does not have to coincide with statistics and numbers, etc., etc. If you're waiting, somebody else is already taking the chance and basically getting it out there. And there is no shame in asking for help. If you don't know, you can always ask for help. When you ask for help, then possibly you are saying yes to so many things. And also very clearly look at it from a point of view saying, do you want to make something work that's working for everybody? You want to go on that route? Or do you want to go on a route where you want to build on something that works for you? I chose the works for me kind of a route because that felt me the most, authentic aspect of becoming a coach. I wanted to build something on my own. I don't have a website. My LinkedIn is my website. And on LinkedIn, I talk about, my dad. So how I had to lose him when 20 years back when he had a massive heart attack. I talk about my relationship with my mom. How I'm eternally grateful for what she does. I talk about my friends. I talk about podcasts. I talk about the people I met in podcasts. I talk about programs that I run as an open mic guy. I talk about programs that I have been part of. I talk about people who made an impact on me. I talk about, say, possibly something is relevant to coaches, something is relevant to the aspect of mentoring. And I talk about an entire plethora of stuff which is not related to coaching. which makes it easy for me to constantly be there on a network and not talk about everything that's only around coaching, coaching, and coaching. And because I'm talking about multiple things, there is a resonance for multiple people about what I am representing. And I can represent multiple things. Coaching is one of the hats that I wear. And so when I'm a coach, I cannot undo all the other things that I am part of. I will have to carry that strength. I will have to carry that baggage with me. And if that baggage helps me in reaching out to another audience, why not use it? So, a reflective aspect is, are you using other aspects of your life, other stories of your life, to enable people to trust you? I think Shweta has put it very perfectly here. So it's like having a conversation with everyone every day through social media, even if it's just through a quote on WhatsApp. Yeah, takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of care, and to build an image about yourself. And also, not just building an image, you should be able to stay true to that image. It's very easy to build an image. If you go to ChatGPT, ask saying, "This is the brand. This is what I do. This is give me 10 quotes that I can put every day." It gives you a quote. Put it on Canva. It gets you delivers you that rendered, and then fantastic. But the aspect of it, what if somebody comes to you and find out that this is not who you are? That's the thing. So authenticity, representing what you are already, being true, your value system very clearly being noticed by the other side. Not just about coaching, but the same aspect. If my value is about authenticity, the story I can share about authenticity that resonates with people who want to be authentic can happen even though it's not around coaching and even though it's not about me. Right? People feel that everything that I am doing on branding should be about my journey, should be about, beating my chest and saying, oh, this is what I did. I've written about failure stories. I've written about burnouts. I've written about how horribly bad my anger management was and how coaching has helped me make that tilde. And all of us are coaches. We would have undergone some level of peer coaching or some aspect of coaching being a part of our life where we got coached. Can you talk about your own personal journey that makes it personal for you and for somebody who's listening, saying, you know what, I was an angry young man, and now my wife or girlfriend or mother or sister swears by that the last 2 years is another person. So I talk about that. Nothing is stopping you from stopping doing that. Because a standard complaint I've heard is that I've made my website, I'm running my ads, I'm not getting conversions, or I'm getting leads, but my leads are not getting converted into this thing. And possibly the other aspect is the aspect of when I'm building a brand, am I building a brand that's talking to CEOs like CEOs want to be heard? Or is my brand talking to individuals who are CEOs of their own life? And that's how, if I have to represent a leadership coaching space, which I am part of in multiple networks, because the network does not understand niche agnostic understanding. So if I had to really look at it, so I'd say I'm a leadership coach for individuals who want to be leaders, which typically is everybody, but it is a story. So I talk about my goof ups with leadership. I talk about my journey as leadership. I talk about somebody else's journey that I'm appreciating as leadership. So there is never a shortage of content. And there is always a personal touch that makes it all the more easier. Can we use AI for branding? Obviously, yes. But if your voice is not the same as AI's voice, and if there's a mismatch when the client actually comes, you're going to lose out. So make sure that your voice still remains in your AI presentation. Um, and very quickly in LinkedIn, I'm able to look at a post and say, oh, this is written by AI. And I'm not even bothered about it because I don't feel like I'm reading another person. And that's me. But maybe for somebody else, that's something that really works. And that's why you will have to choose your target audience. Who is your target? And if you are from a marketing background, you will say, who's your user story or what's your user story? So I am possibly for me, who's my client? My client is possibly Mr. Rajesh. Rajesh is an ICF trained coach. After the training institute has left him to die, and he's an orphan coach. But he really wants to make sure that he gets his 100 hours, becomes credential, and starts earning. So I am, for him, the mentor that guides him or her along the way to get to the credential. So my user story is somebody like that. So can we think about our audience in terms of user stories, where they are, what they are doing? So again, this is a push model, but also it helps you saying to reiterate and reflect whether whatever target audience you are comfortable working with, are they the ones that are coming to you? Sit with an audit, right? Who was your favorite client? Who was your least favorite client? Who was the last five clients you went with or you coached? And what topics did they come up with? Again, helps you define some of your specializations, niche, micro niche, if that is what works for you. I'm not saying micro niche is bad, niche is bad. It does not work for me. So you will have to figure out what works for you. Typically, like how it is in coaching, you will have to figure out what works for you. I will pause at this point just to check in if what made sense in whatever I shared. And I'd love it if you come on video so that I know I'm not talking to an audience that is somewhere else in some other country sleeping. Oh, yeah, and uh, never underestimate your sense of humor because your sense of humor gets you people. If you're building an emotional connect with people, obviously it makes a big difference. So I'm Bernard for the first time I'm seeing him, right? But we've spoken on the phone like 10, 15 times. So now I have like if Bernard comes and meets me somewhere, obviously I'll look at it. And Aniel, she said she's from Madagascar, but is like staying in Madagascar. She introduced me, all of us, to her kid. So whenever I see her, I am obviously my next question, even before we go and say, "How's your kid doing? How's Madagascar? Like how's Seychelles?" That's how you build a relationship, and relationships gets you business. May not be your hardcore bread and butter kind of a thing, but it gives you sustainable business that you're able to run on this. And the person you're talking to may not be somebody who gives you, say, coaching, but they can always influence somebody who is needing a coach, and that is you. So these are aspects of work. Any other questions? Any other sharing reflections? Feel free to unmute and share. Yeah. And for those who want to be a part of the WhatsApp community that I'm running, please feel free to write me a message on WhatsApp, sharing my WhatsApp number here. Mm, yes. Actually, yeah. So this is always more personal, and I think also keeps you motivated to keep going with your branding, going with your business because it's your business at the end of the day. And if you don't do it, I'm sure nobody else is going to do it for you. Even if you put in all the money and all the finances and all the efforts, if the other person does not get what your brand is, uh, it's a difficult journey. So even if you're saying somebody else is going to be my branding person, you are not able to communicate your branding to them, obviously it's going to go haywire, and that's not good for business. So you will have to put in that effort. So you can always take this topic to peer coaching, so your peers will also not scold you saying, oh, you bought in a topic that's not real. So you can actually bring a real topic, take it out saying, what's my strength as a coach, what's my branding, what's my storytelling, I want to figure it out. So if your peer coach has a problem, you can always come to me because I enjoy these abstract coaching conversations.
Oh, lovely.
Perfect, Jyoti. You have a question.
Yes, I have a question. Is it important? Is it necessary just to be? Of course, I've been with you for a long time, but can non-coaches also be a part of the community, like NLP practitioners and someone related to this who can also build like, this marketing and branding? All these
Yeah,
topics are a lot to do with direct
yeah. So
lives.
that's an interesting question. I haven't thought about it. So let me think about it and get back to you. So that's
Because
something.
I'm also a part. I'm a NLP master, so I have a tribe there also. I think a lot of them would love to join your community.
Absolutely. So let me think about it. Currently, we're still keeping it around anybody who's coach trained. NLP also
Yeah,
works in coach trained. So that's it's just that if they are part of the community and they are not resonating with whatever we're sharing, for them it feels like nagarka nagarka. So they're stuck in between.
yeah.
So that's one. Possibly the easiest way is that I can be a part of that community because I can always talk about NLP. I can always talk about branding and other stuff. So that could be one way to make it work. So we will talk about it.
But that's a
Right.
good
And
idea. Because right now I'm leading them. I thought if you could lead them, it would be much, much, much senior.
so there is no seniors and there's no juniors in this.
No, nothing. I mean, I you remember when I came into you first?
Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. Yes, Vishali, you have raised your hand. And Jyoti, I'm assuming I completed your answer.
Yes, yes, you did.
Hi, Sunil. I'm sorry. I'm down
Yes.
with flu, so my voice isn't. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're
Oh,
audible.
You're funnily audible.
Take care of
okay.
your health and do share your question. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't have a question. I just wanted to share that uh, after listening to everything that you have shared, it's kind of giving me a lot of hope. The WhatsApp status is something which I think I have started using recently, and which I plan to use. And the way you spoke about branding, you made it seem I think for me it is one of the most challenging things. I mean, I think I don't want to take too much of your time, but I think I thought of coaching last year, and then I had taken few steps back because I realized, okay, I have the skill set, I know things, but when it comes to putting and marketing and branding, I realized that I am very, very bad at it. So I realized probably this is not for me, and then I started looking at different avenues. But now once again I realized that probably this is coaching or something is where my calling is, and now I have to find out ways how do I still go ahead and put myself out there. So thank you so much for a lovely session, because I feel this gives me hope that there is some hope for me to go out and be a coach, even though I somewhere have those beliefs about marketing and selling and branding, which I think a lot of us have. Like, we have been taught uh, not to talk much about ourselves, and I think that becomes quite challenging, really challenging. So I just wanted to express my gratitude. Thank you so much, Sunil, for making it seem possible. Um, but
absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you. And what Roshali shared, accepting the compliments my way, and also sharing that it's as much as your work there is, rather than this sharing of possibilities, right? So again, the aspect of most of you being here is again. Uh, because you're drawn to this topic. It could be that can I can I really blow my trumpet and say this is what I did, this is what I did, which a lot of people find very difficult to do, right? Because it's our upbringing, it's a cultural aspect. There's so many aspects at play. Uh, but even before that, one very strong aspect of branding that I also want to reiterate, that your parents, your grandparents had a brand. They did not have a digital brand. As soon as they would walk in, people would recognize them for something that was very unique to them. That means your branding does not have to hold on to a social media. Uh, I tell this often quite well. So some of your regulars at the Tribe of Coaches will know that I've never missed a wedding in the last 2.5 years as soon as I started coaching. And that was a full-time guy. Because weddings are the perfect place to get to meet new people, talk about coaching, and it's the most relaxed space for them. And 90% of the time they are bored because somebody is getting married and the 10% is running around. 90% they have time, and you can talk to them and explain what coaching is all about, and ask them, do you feel like you want to try something out? And they come along board and see something it works. So a personal branding outside of your social media can still work. And I was surprised to find, in my apartment, when I randomly, like somebody introduced me to somebody, I was also there and I said, oh, I'm Sunil. And then they said, oh, you're NimmaCoach-Sunil. I said, oh, why? Oh, that's interesting. And the only answer that I got was, you are the only one who puts something or the other in the WhatsApp group. So, across a month, I think there is at least 5 or 6 messages from you. So you saved your number. It's when a message comes from you, we know, okay, this guy is doing something. Right? Yeah, so brand precedes you. So you walk into the room even before you officially walk into the room. Can we build it for ourselves? That's a question we start with today. It may not be easy, but it's not impossible. Yes, Jyoti. One last
Sunil,
question.
I'm really, really embarrassed because I'm the only one asking questions as always. But I can't help it because I think that's my way of growing myself. And maybe through
Yes.
my questions, a lot of other people also learning who are
Oh,
hesitant to ask
yes.
questions.
Absolutely.
Can
Absolutely.
we just, since we just have 5 minutes left, can
Please,
we just
yeah. Go ahead.
have a rundown of all the topics that you covered up? Like suppose you said about the WhatsApp status that was new for me, then about the
Yes.
LinkedIn, which I'm already there. I do a post every day on LinkedIn for the last 2 years. So people know me as a LinkedIn woman more than anything else. So similarly, like that, like you say about socializing through weddings and all that. So what are the points that we basically covered up so we tick the boxes accordingly
Yeah. So
to
for
build your
that,
personal branding?
I'll answer and I'll also get brownie points. Shweta, why don't you go ahead and answer
Yeah,
that
we
for
can all
us?
contribute to this.
Because Shweta makes lovely notes. So our previous conversation, she asked saying, "This is the notes I've done. Do you feel like is there anything that I've missed?"
Shweta did
So
coach me this morning. I'll catch hold of her.
Yeah,
you can.
and Sunil, the way you said, no, that even before your grandparents walk into the room, everybody knew who they were. So I had this session with Jyoti today. The first time I was meeting her personally. And I was like, your name is very familiar. Your name is very familiar. And she said, let's connect on LinkedIn. And we had connected long ago on LinkedIn and we didn't know each other. So she's
It's
that
always there.
famous.
Everyone knows me as a LinkedIn person wherever I go, because I post every day without fail.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's a fantastic way of doing it.
So,
Shweta,
but
so
what are
I'm
the other
assuming.
ways? Like now I'm on the status, the WhatsApp status also I'll follow.
So WhatsApp is one, weddings are another one. Say being part of multiple networks is another one. Sharing success stories is another one. So
Any
I think
success
these
story
are
is exactly linked to you mean.
testimonials, screenshots of testimonials, talking about it in different forums. All of these are counting for you. So
All
you
that
can
I'm doing.
also essentially talk about success stories, failure stories, personally who you are, what's your story, what got you into coaching. So essentially, it's you are creating a dictionary of yourself to the audience. That anybody who wants to look up that dictionary in that word will look up to you and say, you know what, I think I'd like to get in touch with Jyoti, or I want to meet Jyoti, or I want to meet Rushali, or Bernard,
Yeah, in
or
fact, I got
anybody.
a lot of proposals for collaboration only because of my LinkedIn writings.
It, it,
A lot
it,
of offers come to me through LinkedIn only.
yes, yes, yes. LinkedIn is a very powerful medium, and it could come through in any medium as such. It could be LinkedIn, it could be any medium. So you will have to choose what medium works for you.
I just did the status just now, and I've already got two responses from people, acknowledging it. While I was talking to you,
So,
I did it.
so I will
Sunil,
get
if I
brownie
may
points for
give
this.
since you're very fond of metaphors and analogies, so what you just spoke about is like this. Like nowadays, when you go to weddings, they have all these different things to keep the guests busy. They have this 360-degree video thing.
Camera,
Remember?
yeah, correct.
Yeah. So what you essentially said about us building a brand is to stand at the center and let everybody look at you, watch you from all around. But the camera is not in their hands, and you are the person showing on different
Correct.
sides and aspects.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so that way you show to what extent you feel you want to show. You work with that vulnerability angle as well. That you are also the aspect of it is you are assuming you do a 360, right? So it's also a 360 feedback from the office kind of a thing. I am assuming that I'm a fantastic leader. I've given 5 out of 5. My peers give me 3 out of 5. My subordinates and people I work with possibly give me 1 out of 5. But I am assuming I'm the best leader out there. So the storytelling is always reaching your audience, but a feedback is what reaches you, saying whatever you wanted to share, is that what actually ended up happening? So that's where you will know, okay, whether it works for you as a branding or not. Right. So, yes, Ramesh. So, thanks for your patience.
That's fine. Um, so I was when I'm listening to you in these conversations, one of the things which strikes me is a lot of the brand building is around individual coaching,
Mm,
identifying individuals who need coaching. Yeah. Whereas when I look at the market, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of coaching is actually led by the organizations.
mm.
Yeah. Now, is there something different one needs to do um,
Mm,
for building a brand with
interesting.
organizations? Because, meaning, I may be wrong. Your path seems to be very different and interesting.
Yeah.
But whatever little I've seen talking to others seems to
Mm.
be more like this being a organization-led um, initiative.
Yes. So, I will. Very interesting question. I think that's the first aspect. Thanks for bringing it up. So, I made a very conscious choice that my thought process matches well with individuals, or I want to work with individuals. That's my uh, or decision that I've taken. If corporate comes along, that's a good to have. But my aspect is to be working with individuals. So that's one aspect that I've already internally decided. So I bring that decision also onto my storytelling. So that's one. Does it change? That's a conscious choice I made that I don't want to really push it for organizations. Does the story and branding change? May not be. Because now maybe it slightly has a tinge of, will this resonate within my target audience of organizations? I also have that aspect of when I was in an organization, I was still doing personal branding. So I was with Bosch before, and the last 2.5 years of Bosch, so I was called the encyclopedia of Bosch. Because anybody wants to get anything, they used to give me a call and saying, connect me to this person who knows this, etc. So and I knew that. And that basically was because I was writing on LinkedIn, constantly connecting with different people on different multiple topics. And that actually set me up to say, oh, I can be a part of an organization, talk about myself, and in that way make myself relevant to organizations through people who are part of the organization. So if I am now looking to put myself out there such that the organization looks at me. So now if I'm saying as a LinkedIn, if I have to look at saying the organization is looking at me, the organization is a non-living entity. But people in the organization are the living entity. So my resonance space is still with people. But now maybe the story tuning in the telling is relevant to HRs, is relevant to decision makers, is relevant to CEO, CTO, relevant to somebody else who's specifically my sector. So my relevance slightly changes. My story is the same, the telling changes. right? So essentially, say Virat Kohli retiring is a fact, is a story. But how I see it is going to be my version of it. And I will make it relevant to somebody at an organization stepping down. So over a period of time, that story and similar stories, if I'm posting on LinkedIn or anywhere else on my blog or somewhere, the organization's ears are going to perk up and say, oh, whenever Ramesh writes, it's about organizations and coaching. So there is somebody who's looking at you. And at all points of time, somebody is looking at you. So that's where you make it in such a way that your authenticity is not compromised. You can always pass the test. You can always stay true to what you're doing, and also make it relevant for somebody to say, you know what, I think we should give Ramesh a spot. And once you get a spot, how you deliver is again your this thing. But it can work very similar lines, even if it's an organization.
Okay, thank you.
So I also take back something from this question, because what really hit me was an organization is not a the name is a non-living entity, but the organization is made through people. So you connect through to the organizations through its people.
Even the backdrop was a part of the. I just remembered to use a backdrop.
Yeah, so use the backdrop. Yeah, yeah. Thanks. So
Yeah,
I
I
will
just
give
made
you
the
the
list.
recording.
You have. I'll be pulling out of the recording from you.
Yes. So I'm assuming this was helpful for you. There is another session that is at 7 o'clock today. If you
What's the
find
topic of
time,
that? I've registered, but what's the
that
topic?
is the art of complete listening or true listening.
I need that badly.
All of us, to a large extent, are already listening. It is something that makes you ponder on different levels of listening.
I'll be
So
there.
good. Perfect. 7 o'clock, same link. If you find somebody who you feel is interested in this, tag them along. Ping me for the link. Jyoti also asked me for something which I will do is she asked me for the other ICW events that I am attending. So I have
So can
attended,
we
I
get
think,
an
six or
entire list
seven.
together? Because very difficult to. I'm trying to search out here, there for you. What are you doing?
Yeah, so that's a difficult
Can
one,
you just
but I'll
give me
figure
a
out.
list of all those 23 or whatever you are doing?
All 21 I'm doing. I'll send a list
Just
that
send
I
it together so we register and we book and we are free and we are done with.
uh, will
Please,
do.
just make it easy. I'm being a bit lazy here.
Absolutely.